stage win, but has also got a half head into his potential GC aspirations, because it's only 5 minutes and 15 seconds down on the general classification as of this morning.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's got everything to ride for.
He has. He needs some space. Felton saying, I'm not working, you guys do it. Bellin still eyeballing everybody, nobody giving him a second glance. They know he's a danger, at least for the stage, but it's not too bad overall. And here comes Quintana, who wants to engage the descent. We saw him do this last year, in fact 2 years ago. He's absolutely outstanding, especially in grizzly conditions. He doesn't mind it at all, and it's Contador that eases up just a little bit. I always think that Quintana's given to taking a few more risks at moments like this. It's bitten him on occasion, but he is a brave man and goes for it right now, and it's Bellins that's guiding him down. They're suddenly refinding a bit of drive.
And obviously, Nairo Quintana's sort of center of gravity is only about 2 centimeters above the sort of the floor.
Yeah, he's a little guy, a whippy guy, but yeah, he can still get found out. I've seen him take a tumble. I remember the time trial, of course, as well, where he really got bitten on the Giro in dampish conditions as well. It's damp right now. He seems to have put that in the back of his mind. Verona is thinking down the road, and he is engaging properly. 11.2 kilometers from home. There's one final climb to take. It's not categorized, by the way, but nonetheless it is 7%, and he's got to do that on his own. It peaks with 1 kilometer only, 1.2 kilometers I should say, from the end, and so he will be on it with about 3 Ks out. You'll see him climbing. 3 Ks out, he'll start climbing. Are these guys minded to chase him? I don't think they are. So he's got a chance here, Verona, but it's about this descent for him.
Yeah, I think Verona has to keep on pressing on this descent and try and build up a bit of an advantage, because 6 seconds, if the guys, these 3 riders, Contador, Quintana and Henao, decide that they actually want to work a bit together.
Bellins explodes. He decides, I've had enough of you guys, you're not going to do any help. And they're not bothered. They're not bothered because he's so far down the order. This is about the title, but others do have a care about today.
There's Marta coming back.
Wow, there we are. Luis Angel sails through, bullies it, gets a beep from the motorcycle, and indeed the motorcycle driver, we'll call him, just putting a foot down just in case he was to lose it on the corner. He's beeping away, trying to get away, but and there's plenty of other traffic wants to come through. Likewise riders, as you can see, and it's a big old train that's sailing down right now, and good to see Jessing and Kelderman here from Lotto Jumbo NL. It's not over by any means, this.
No, definitely not, but what a mistake, I think, by the 3 favourites there. They could have really put themselves in a strong position if they continued to work well together. Interesting one here with a motorbike having to try and get himself out of the way, but did very well in just kind of following the line for the rider, so that he actually made himself part of the group rather than trying to sort of get into any funny sort of apexes and mess the riders about.
Yeah, indeed. Tommy's factor also involved here. A big turn coming in right now. You've got to be careful, and we've seen those often benign looking turns that tighten up, looking they get worse very, very quickly, Magnus.
Yeah, definitely. But also we're going around here now with an awful lot of trees about as well, which kind of makes life a bit more sketchy. You don't quite know how much grip you actually got on the tarmac, but it actually looks a bit more dry down here.
Yeah, it does, just drying out. I think they've had a bit of wind today, and when you come out from underneath the tree cover, you see the road gets paler where it's evaporated. The gap, though, doing anything but. This man is doing a decent job. I'm waiting to see any subsequent pictures just behind him. Unfortunately, we're not there just yet, but no declaration of a gap, and I think there's a big push coming on with Luis Angel Mate driving into this one. He's certainly aware that there's more than just a motorcycle, I think, on his case. Still pushing into it. We've got no count down to the line either. As we go, 8 Ks we're hearing on race radio is what we've got. So Magnus, he's got about 5 to go. 13 seconds, there we are. 7.9 now. So 12 seconds. I don't know, it keeps bouncing all over the place. We've seen that sort of margin being held by the likes of Sagan recently, but it's a bigger ask for this man, I think, considering who are chasing him down.
Well, I think that was a completely different setup with only 2 riders chasing, whereas here we got a whole bunch, and an awful lot of riders who are quite keen now on trying to get a stage win, because they've got themselves back into the race again after Contador and Quintana and now decided to have a bit of a look at each other rather than actually go racing.
Wow. We've got another camera bike. Just
7K to go.
Yeah, exactly. 7K only. Just coming through. He's got security outriders to guide him, but there's very little gap between himself and the chasers. About 7 seconds was our last call, and so let's see how he goes. He just needs to think about the road ahead, but it's going to be a rocky one for him, especially when he gets to this climb. And here we have some proper chasers. Luis Angel Mate. Can't quite see
Tim
who.
Wellens.
He's got back in. Wellens. Oh, brilliant work by Wellens. So still not giving up, Tim Wellens. And he's got Mate as well, who was part of that original breakaway, who's now refound himself. 6.5 to go, 9 seconds they've got. Well, credit to the breakaway for not giving up, even with this narrow margin.
Yeah, well, I think Tim Wellens went right at the perfect moment, and Mate came through on the very last split second to actually get a gap on the bunch. I just want to know whether what the gap is back to the bunch, if that is the 15-16 seconds from Carlos to the what is left of the peloton, or whether it's actually a 15-second gap to the two chasing riders.
I guess we're going to find out right now as we come past this area of aggregate and scrap metal. I don't know. It was a grisly old day. It's still got a lot of bite to it, I'm afraid. I'm going to take this right-hander on dry road. It looks like it's back to the chasers, Magnus. We've got nothing to say anything else at the moment, in which case Verona did an absolutely outstanding descent. Let's have a look. No, there we are. It's back to the GC contenders who are still engaged. So there goes Wellens and Mate. Where are the rest? Here they come. Well, that's surely not Perito. Looking down, and it looks too big for him. We'll see. That looks like Aru. It could be Spilak indeed, and I don't know who the chaser is from Trekken. Here are the main body of the contenders, including Quintana and Contador. The way they rode up that incline, Magnus, it bodes for a very dramatic day tomorrow, does it not? I think we've got a club rider out.
No, that was one of the riders who's obviously some way off the back.
Yes. Riding home a number of jerseys. He's certainly not part of this particular part of the race. We have been on a circuit today. There's Pinot just latching on, as you can see, from Francis Lejeune. Great effort by him. Good to see Pinot functioning high here as well.
Well, just going into the final 3 kilometers, we got about a kilometer of 7% of climbing from 2,700 odd meters up to about 1,700 meters to go from the line, and then we drop down for effectively 700-800 meters before it gets flat again for the last 500 meters. So it's still not over, and it's quite a difficult final.
It is, and I think we may well have rather a selective group on this next climb. It depends on what sort of pace Tim Wellens, Luis Angel Mate from Cofidis, and indeed Carlos Verona at the moment, who's still out there and on his own. He could do with a bit of help, to be honest. With such a narrow gap back to Wellens and Mate, you'd think he'd hang back, but I think he really fears Wellens. Let's see.
He's got nothing to lose here now. He's just got to commit and keep on pushing on as hard as he can. And these guys are certainly doing that.
And so there is Aru, there is Pinot, as they come into town as well. Very good work by Aru today. He's pushed on when he's needed to, and in fact he's shown that he's with the best. And here we are, bit of arguing then. Tim Wellens and Luis Angel Mate already talking to each other. I think Wellens saying, come on, let's ride together, and Mate just saying, forget it. Carlos Verona is there as well out front. The trio from the break, Magnus.
Well, if in this position I would have gone very quickly back up to Carlos Verona's back wheel and just gone for a full-blown attack again, because Verona's gone max to try and stay away, and he will be in some serious oxygen debt at the moment. And if you had anything left, then this would be the moment to go.
He can regather himself, particularly hiding within that trio up front. Don't forget the chasers. It's Aru and Pinot on their case at the moment, and it's only 15 seconds gap, and they've got this climb to take on it. It's not overly difficult, 7%, but it's going to be wearing, that's for sure. Once they get to the top, 700 meters down, and then 500 flat. I don't think Tim Wellens is worried within this trio. I think he's probably still got something left in the bank. That's the only reason I could think he didn't do what you said, Magnus.
No, but the problem is that they're not going hard enough to stay away from these guys and chasing them down. They needed to. At the moment, they're just looking at each other, and they haven't got that amount of time to play with.
It's not a luxury that's at their disposal, and it's again Verona that picks himself up. First to chase on is Tim Wellens. Mate engages as well, and finally they found a bit of pace, but it's all too late. They've only got 3 seconds, as you can see. Motorcycle's going to move to one side, and you get other riders coming through. 23 seconds back to the yellow jersey. Well, if the yellow jersey on Michael Landa manages to get back in here, can't see him just for the time being. Yes, he is. He's there within the body of this group. Good work then.
Well, definitely good work. Kreuziger now giving it a very big turn on the front, and it's just bringing back the final couple of riders here.
There we are. They messed it up, and they will be arguing with each other, and Wellens will think of that as a chance missed, I am absolutely certain. And so they drive into the final climb, and Perito's also here, actually, wants to be part of it. I think the Lotto Jumbo boys of Kelderman and Gisting have got a big option here today. Let's see how they get over this climb. And coming back into it goes Enau. He sails up on the inside, also still very much part of this. Reichenbach is back in here, and there's the leader. There is the leader's jersey. Good work, strong work as well by a worthy leader of this race, Michael Landa.
Yeah, he's definitely going very well indeed. And
look at this.
Here we go. Contador is having a cup.
He's digging in. It's only 7%, but this is about his own condition as well, don't forget.
Yeah, Sammy Sanchez is going after him, though not quite got the legs, but look at Henao. How strong is Henao?
Yeah, and looks relaxed as well. He put so much pace into that. You saw the torque going through the back wheel on the steepest section where his wheel split. And on that point, he actually had to start freewheeling into the curve because he'd actually put so much in. I think it's here for Henao to take Contador, at least at this moment. Whether Contador will let him go or not is anybody's guess. Oh, look at this. Roll into it, why don't you? And Sammy Sanchez just goes the other side of the road, heads over to the left-hand side, and doesn't want to give a wheel to anybody. He's weaving all over the place. Oh, this is great stuff. Rui Costa as well, very much engaged with the fun, and oh, he's still rattling here. Oh, big power, big heart, and he's sprinting across the crest.
And he's such a good descender as well, so if this is ever so slightly technical on the way down in, he's got an outside chance of staying away. We've got to remember, when we get down to the bottom, he has 500 meters of flat, and he's at the line. So
Flamme Rouge any moment now. It's going to be part of this descent. 700 meters down. There it is. Flamme Rouge right now. Has he done it?
Watch out for the man in the pink helmet, though. Rui Costa very, very fast in the finish, and certainly this type of a finish as well when it's been so hard leading up to this.
Well, Sammy Sanchez will be aware of that, but what a time to go. Has he gauged it absolutely perfectly? And now's on his case. As you can see, Sammy Sanchez and that pink helmet. He wears the white-ish character jersey of the Portuguese national champion, and he's going to stretch his legs, that's for sure, and I think he's decided to go for it right now. We're heading for the flatter section. You've got to go for it if you're going to have an option. Big turn coming up right now. Here we are.
Big turn, wet turn as well, so this is going to be difficult for everyone to stay upright and come around this corner and then kick for it.
And they do. Can't quite see. Is it Farlene who's made it over? I beg your pardon for Trek, not quite sure. May have missaw it. Oh, look, Sammy Sanchez hits a sleeping policeman. Is he away? It's the wreckage behind him, I'm afraid, as he takes the curve. Not quite there just yet, but he's going to get there. Sammy Sanchez with a big heart and a perfect piece of strategy. We still wait. No pictures. Goodness me, is he going to get caught? No, he's going to make it. Brilliant work. Great take it was by him. Wow, and it was indeed Rui Costa, the Portuguese champion, finishing in second place today. What a skirmish that was. The leader comes across the line right now. Not too much damage for those behind within this group, but boy, oh boy, you've got to be able to climb, you've got to be able to rock with the punches, you've got to be able to descend and sprint. This race has got everything. Tomorrow's the Queen stage and then the climbing time trial.